Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American campfire.
Well, glory, glory, hallelujah, and past the garlic and butter, the greatest hunting season of my life is coming around the corner. Some of my buddies are already hunting deer in California. Deer season opened in California. Deer season opened in Florida, Central Florida. The whitetails actually have a summertime rut. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't wait for the summertime. I don't wait for the fall essence. I don't wait for any authority to give me the open rut. I rut all year long. I've discovered that if you put your heart and soul, the physics of spirituality, into your ultimate life, liberty, and pursuit of a gonzo sexy dream, that you can have a rut year-round. So anyhow, welcome back to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. It's the that little intro that Aaron and Nikki and all my friends are going to see soon. Every segment of Ted Nugent's Real America's Voice, which has authority and power and spirit and piss and vinegar and backstrap breath. I have terminal, eternal backstrap breath. I eat venison. Venison, 75.7 years clean and sober, because I get high, not just on the venison on the grill, but the pursuit, the essence of the spirit of the wild, the higher level of awareness, taking a sharp stick. Barack. Oh, that Minutemen coffee. Get yourself some Minutemen coffee. When I leave the pavement, which I do every day of my life, hence my spirit erection. I have a full-time erect spirit. It's like touchy, a slight wind, and immediately my spirit, boom, gets erect. So I'm going to celebrate the conservation lifestyle, the hunting, fishing, trapping, outdoor, resource stewardship, environmentally beneficial hunting, fishing, trapping lifestyle. And I'm going to do it by celebrating the entrepreneurs who improvise, adapt, and overcome. You've seen me talk about it before. Just this morning, I've discovered the greatest wildlife enhancers, which I am. My name is Ted Nugent. I'm a wildlife enhancer. I enhance the wildlife by killing every raccoon I can. Number 68, I hung up number 68 yesterday morning, which means I save the pheasant eggs, the grouse eggs, the baby rabbits, because the coons kill everything. I save the duck eggs. I save the sandhill crane eggs. I save the endangered Mitchell Satyr butterfly that can only produce, so they say, on a Christmas tree fern, which thrives on my fen. There's no other rock and roller that has a fen. I have a fen. Instead of buying drugs, alcohol, bling bling tattoos, and dry cleaning, I bought a fen. It's so funny. Why would you want to have a fen? So I've been raving about Big and J products, Red Chain feeds, and this entrepreneurial roustabout, whitetail products gone wild. And I'm fascinated. We got Aaron and Nikki from the wilds of Wisconsin. Aaron and Nikki, welcome to the Spirit Campfire. Don't you just love the Spirit Campfire?
Absolutely, Ted. We can't thank you enough for giving us this opportunity to be on. Oh, we're excited.
Well, you guys celebrate, the TV show, the song, my album, my life, my battle cry, the flashing iridescent middle finger light in the night says Spirit of the Wild. So you guys love the great outdoors. You know it cleanses your soul, but you've also made a business out of it. You created Whitetail Products Gone Wild, which is all these wild concoctions of roasted soybeans and apples and squash and pumpkins, all the things that you just discovered that the deer really love, and it actually brings them vitamins and nutrition and beneficial ingredients. But what do? Do you have some grinder? Do you and Nikki take sledgehammers and beat on beans and apples in your garage? Tell us how you created Whitetail Products Gone Wild, because I got to tell you, I've tried everything. And like I said, Big and J, great product. Red Chain feeds, super, super nutritional protein pellet. But when I add that together with Whitetail Products Gone Wild, I've been at this my entire life. I've never seen more and bigger bucks in my yard at night because of whitetail products gone wild. How did this start, and how do you make all this stuff? Do you have a room in your house where you pound ingredients and put them in bags? Tell me how you do this.
You know, Ted, it's a funny story, and we love telling it to every retail store we go to, you know, and it is the American dream. You know, I was running a recreation company, and I was a big hunter. We have 80 acres. We were able to feed the deer in the front yard at that time. And a buck I'd been chasing on our property, I went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I look out, and here's this giant buck with his head buried in one of our pumpkins from Halloween. So I go back to work the next day. I'm like, I got to buy some pumpkin deer attractant. You know, there's got to be a pumpkin deer feed out there, something I can get this buck to come in. So I couldn't find any. I looked, and you know, Nikki comes home the next day, and I got all these dehydrators running in the kitchen with pumpkins and squash going, and I clamp on this little eBay grinder onto the side of the counter, and I grind up this gallon bucket of pumpkin and squash powder, and I was so excited. And you know, I put it out in the front yard, and hear the deer come into it, and they wouldn't eat it. So I was devastated. I'm like, well, it's too potent. You know, we gotta tame it down. So a day or so later, I line up 7 different garbage cans in the garage with 7 different products, and I start mixing them in a cement mixer. I get myself this cheap electric grinder, and I'm experimenting 3 scoops of this, 2 scoops of that, 1 scoop of this, and I'm trying all these different concoctions, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, this stuff smells amazing. And I would literally taste it myself before I tried it to the deer. So we come up with a couple products nobody else has that we put in, and it just, you know, we were like, hey, let's label some bags and try it at some local sporting goods stores, and it just exploded. We had guys waiting for this in the mornings to get this stuff when these stores opened, and the company, we became the first and only in the entire industry to perfect a pumpkin squash deer attractant and feed. And from there, we're like, hey, let's take our 7 base ingredients, and then let's add in our natural beet, our natural apple, you know, our roasted soybean, and our acorn extracts. So it's crazy how it all has become, from our kitchen to Nikki with that 1 year hand labeled front and back 8,000 bags on the picnic table on the front porch. So
that's the entrepreneur.
Now we have a full
right
operating facility. So it's the American dream. You know, we both are no longer at our previous jobs. This is full time, and we love it. So.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to do an Uncle Ted conservation celebration segment every Real America's Voice every week, because it really is a powerful force in our lives. And there's 2 points here. Number one, a big salute to you, because it was improvising, adapting, experimenting, taking risks, you know, stumbling. The great white buffalo in the swirling dust of the American Dream Arena, where you stumble, you made a couple mistakes. It wouldn't work at first. You tried this, that didn't work. So, Nikki, with Aaron pursuing this, did you think he was crazy at first?
Yeah.
And you're obviously a deer hunter yourself. I can't wait to hear your perspective of when he started making the whitetail products gone wild concoctions.
I was not very excited when I walked into the kitchen and there's this pumpkin bits laying all over the kitchen counter. But you know what? Hindsight, I'm really glad that I just let him roll with it, because he's a hard worker, and he's going to make something work no matter what it takes.
And it's really important to talk. You hear me talk about it all the time, because I'm a defiant guy. America was founded by defiant men who wouldn't listen to the immorality of the king. And you have a product that is against the law in numerous states, but in those states where it's against the law is bad. I had some cops say, well, it's the law. Would you arrest Rosa Parks? Would you put the Jews on the train? Those were the laws. Would you let the people lynch the black boy because he looked at your wife? That was the law. The law is bad. And even in those states where it is the law, you sell out, because the spirit of real conservationists know that no man has authority over a private landowner in America, whether you put out wildlife feed or not. So I got to tell you, I salute you, but you know that I've always fought against the bureaucrats who have these immoral laws. So I got to tell you, everybody, go to Whitetail Products Gone Wild. And you've got to stand up for the truth, logic, and common sense, and we the people freedoms, because there isn't anything wrong. The CWD lie is one big scam. No deer is ever going to increase body fluid swapping because you have apples on the ground, because there's already apples on the ground, or you put corn on the ground because there's already corn on the ground, and the deer are already licking themselves on the way to the corn, and when they leave the corn, when they're on the corn, and when there is no corn. So I got to tell you guys, I love your product, and you've really enhanced. What I do is I promote those products that enhance the joy and the happiness of increased wildlife encounters. And that's all this means. The deer don't become drunk and blind when they come to your product, except in South Texas where they're already drunk and blind. I don't get, those are straight deer. But I'm gonna wrap it up right now, but thank you for that. It's called Whitetail Products, GoneWild.com. Aaron, Nikki, God bless you. I'm proud to have you as part of our Spirit of the Wild TV celebration. And every time I chow down on a sacred backstrap, I go, God bless Whitetail Products Gone Wild. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ted.
Appreciate it.
All right, have a great rain. I'm going to keep in touch with those guys. But we're going to do this every segment of Ted Nugent's Spirit Campfire, because there's some really brilliant, hard-working, and Nikki said it, they're hard workers. They experiment, they take risks and make sacrifices to come up with these great products, whether it's a landmark Remington ammo, they're always experimenting, whether it's Matthews bows or the different products that we use. It enhances my backstrap dreams right here on the Real America Voice, Ted Nugent, Spirit Campfire.